What's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Michael David, and today we're going to be reviewing the brand called JUVIA'S. I've seen this brand all over YouTube by some of my favorite influencers like Nikki Tutorials, and she's tested out their foundation, their concealer, and she loves their eyeshadow palette. So I decided, since Ulta had a big sale this weekend, that I would try everything out because I definitely needed a new foundation. The NARS foundation that I always use is really great and really full coverage. It's just a little too yellow, so I wanted to try to get something a little bit more neutral and more my skin tone. And as you guys can see, I'm in my robe again. I'm just not really feeling real clothes. I'm sure everybody out there in quarantine's been rocking sweats all day. So from what I see online, JUVIA'S foundation is very full coverage, probably one of the most full coverage foundations out on the market. So we're gonna put that to the test. Now it's called the I Am Magic Velvety Matte Foundation. And since it's saying that we're gonna have a matte look to this foundation, we definitely need to make sure that we have a primer that will kind of give us a little bit of hydration and have a nice balance so it's not too matte. I'm hoping that this foundation really is full coverage, just like everybody says, because as you can see, I have blemishes all over. I don't know if it's from stress, from doing online classwork, but I am definitely suffering. And if you've seen my last couple videos, you constantly see that I have a little blemish right over here. It's still here. You wanna know why? Because I keep picking at it. So if anybody out there has a blemish, stop picking at it, because then it'll scar. Let's prime, and then we will get this coverage going. Alright, so I brought you guys a little bit closer. Sorry that you have to see all my imperfections, but hopefully you'll see them get covered up very soon. Now, as far as primer's concerned, I always end up using e.l.f. products just because they're affordable and they work very well. So I'm going to be going in with the e.l.f. Hello Hydration Face Cream, the Poreless Putty Primer, and then we're also going to be using the Oil Control Primer right on the nose. And as you can see, I have my hair pulled back. I kind of am doing this just so it's easier to apply everything because I always find that my long hair gets in the way. And since we're going through a rough time and not being able to, get a haircut, I figure I'll just keep it pulled back just to make life easier for applying all the products and stuff like that, just so you can see it and, the hair isn't getting in the way. Alright, so here it is. This is the I Am Magic JUVIA'S Velvety Matte Foundation. From what I see, you don't actually need to use that much of it to get that full coverage effect because it's actually a very small component. But, I mean, it's only $20, so, if you think about it, that price really isn't that bad, especially if you can use it without having to use as much product. Now, when you look at it, it looks a little small. Like, obviously, somebody like me who's not as experienced yet would look at this and be like, oh, that's it. But like I said, we don't need to use that much, so hopefully it works out. So now, when I was ordering them online, I didn't know which shade would obviously be good for me, but I got 710 and 740, and off camera I actually tested it out, and 710 looks more like my skin tone, so we're gonna go in, and hopefully it works out. So now I just threw a little bit on my Moist Beauty Blender and I'm kind of just gonna pat away. So I'm very excited. I love foundation. This is my favorite part of watching any video just because you get to kind of just see the blank canvas appear. So here we go. Alright, so I just put it on and I think that I went a little too crazy with it. I heard that you didn't need that much and it looks like I put a little too much on. I mean, it definitely is covering everything, it definitely worked. I think that I could have maybe gotten a shade that was a little bit less light. There's 42 shades, so let's just give them a nice applause for that. But I don't think that I got mine. But, it's fine. I've just been blending it in. It looks a little cakey. I don't know if I just maybe screwed up and flopped with the primer. But, as I buff it in, it starts to look better and better. But now let's get to the concealer. Now looking at the concealer, it's a very, very big component, so definitely know that you get your money's worth on that. So let's just plop it on and see how it performs. Now I got two shades. One's a little bit more brightening, and since I didn't really do too well with the shade matching, I'm gonna go in with the one that's not as brightening. But this is shade number 24, and we're gonna go in with that one first and see what happens. Scares me to think about what would have happened if I would have used the other one. Maybe we can go in a little bit on top. Now I have to say, it actually complements the foundation a lot to use the concealer as well. It's a more velvety finish right on top of the foundation, and it blends in great. Now, just because I am curious, I am going to go in with 24 and kind of just put it right in the inner corners of the eye to kind of help hide those bags just a little bit more. And I'm not going to go too much just because this is very, very light. Like, very, very light. Trying to make bags not exist today. Let's see how it goes. Now this shade would make a beautiful eye base, just because it's very bright, and it's also very, very tacky and sticky, so I think that the eyeshadow would stick very well to it. I'm definitely impressed. I'm gonna go in with the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Translucent Setting Powder and kind of put that under to start a bake, and then I'm just gonna set the whole face, and then I'm gonna also put a little bit of MAC Studio Fix Foundation just on top of it to kind of give me just a little bit more color, because why not? Bam, okay, so as you can see, Jeffree Star Cosmetics baking powder is really there. Now using that same brush, I'm just gonna go in with the MAC Studio Fix and just put it right on top to give me a little bit of color. So now before I get into shadow, I'm just gonna go off camera and quickly put on some brows, and I will be back in 1, 2, 3. Alright, so brows are done, and I cut them with a little bit of the same concealer. I used the brighter one to cut them, and I think that they look pretty good. Now for some strange reason, I'm sure that it was a mistake on my part, right here is very, very cakey. I'm not sure if it comes up on frame, but I don't know, I just can't really fix it. I'm gonna try spraying my whole face with a little bit of setting spray just to kind of, I don't know, give it a little bit of hydration. Maybe that's what it needs to kind of look better. Alright, but now let's get into the shadow. So I got the Zulu eyeshadow palette, which retails for $20, but for Ulta sale it was like 70% off, which was like ridiculous. So I ended up getting it for like $5 or $8. I really can't remember, but I was just like, oh, I mean, it looks really cheap, so I might as well try it. Now, this is a very, very colorful palette. I have to say, I wanted to have something new, and I don't really have a palette like this. Very big pan, so I know that this palette's gonna last me forever. And I'm not gonna do any swatches just because this palette's been out for a really long time, so if you guys want, you can look them up on somebody else's review. I'm just gonna kind of go in, and today's eyeshadow look is gonna be inspired by the artist Rebecca Capel. And you know, I was trying to figure out which colors to use, what kind of vibe I was gonna go with this, and she definitely gave me a lot of inspiration, so I just wanna give her a big shout out. This look is totally inspired by her. So now let's put on some of this concealer to give our lids a base, and then we will get going with the shadows. So now what she does first is she takes this brown shade and she kind of just puts it all over the lid, and then she buffs it out with the orange. So I'm just gonna do that really, really quick. And now I heard that these shadows are really pigmented, so I'm gonna go very slow because we don't want to have a little bit of a mess. The shadow formula is just so rich. All right, I'm liking how this is looking so far. So now I'm just gonna take a JH40 brush, and I'm just gonna dip into the yellow, and I'm kind of just gonna tap around to kind of brighten this up a little bit, and then we're gonna go back and darken up the first color that we started with. Now I'm gonna do like a little half cut crease, and we're gonna use that same concealer because Juvia's Place, they ain't playing. Alright, I'm still learning how to cut, so they're not amazing, but we're gonna move on now. Now I'm gonna take this shimmery aqua shade and just kind of put it all over where we cut this crease. And after every step, what I do is I kind of just go back and touch up what we started with. Now I'm just gonna take that same brown and just kind of start smoking out the end a little bit. Now I'm gonna take that same brown and kind of bring it down in the bottom, and then what I'm gonna do is throw that little reddish pink right towards the inner corner, and then I'm just gonna buff it out with that yellow and orange, just to kind of give it that same ombre effect that we've been going with. So that does it for the Juvia's Place Zula palette, and I have to say, it's literally amazing. Like, you guys saw that I only used a few different shades from it, and it came out with this beautiful blend of colors. So I'm gonna take a Glam Attack from House Labs, and I'm gonna put it in the inner corner just to give it kind of a little bit of a finishing touch. And since we were dealing with more like warm colors aside from this beautiful aqua, I'm gonna go in with the Glam Attack in the shade Legend. Now just gotta shake it up like always, just so you can get all those pearls mixed around in there. Alright, so this does it for the shadow. I'm gonna throw some liner and lashes on off camera, and I will be right back. I'm gonna be going with the Allure lashes. I got that during Ulta sale as well, so we're gonna see how they perform. Alright, so I wanted to actually put the lashes on camera since they are part of this review. They're not part of Juvia's Place, obviously, they're Eylure. It didn't really take me too long to put them on. They had a really strong line base, so they were able to kind of tack on really easily. I put some gold cream eyeliner from KKW Beauty in my inner waterline, and then I used the Haus Labs liquid eyeliner and kind of gave myself a little wing. I wanted to go a little bit longer, but I figured it looks really clean. I'm just gonna leave it. And then for mascara, I used my go-to mascara. It is the Love Love Cosmetics mascara. It's in the travel set, which is only like 20 bucks. I definitely recommend that everybody gets it. I really hope that they put out like a single mascara because it's just such a good formula that I would love to see kind of thrive and be sold on its own. So now all there's left to do is the cheeks and the lips. And you guys know my contour routine, so I'm just gonna quickly do that and kind of speed it up just so you don't have to sit through it. We're obviously gonna go in with our KKW Beauty Contour and Highlight Palette. Now time to go in with blush, and we're gonna be using the KKW Beauty Luxe Blush. And as you guys can see, I've kind of let my hair out and trying to just let it live, and now I feel a little bit like me. And since we've been loving the Glam Attack liquid colors from Haus Labs, I'm gonna go in with Flash as a nice blinding glow. I'm gonna go back in with Legend and just tap some on. Now all I have to do is just finish off with a little bit of setting spray, and then we will call it a day. So, final thoughts. I love this look. I absolutely love Juvia's Place. I think that the foundation was really good. I think that I just used a little bit too much, and then I also think that my primer wasn't really the best option. I thought that it would have been, but turns out that it still looked a little too cakey. The concealer was amazing. Probably like one of the best concealers that I've ever had. It's really good for cutting different things like your lid or your brows. And I'm definitely going to be dipping back into it, especially since they give so much. The eyeshadow, I was pretty impressed. I've played with a lot of different eyeshadow palettes, and I think that it's really fun to have a palette that you really don't even need to use that much product. It just is so fun. And the lashes by Eylure, I think they look pretty freaking cool. I was very happy at the strong base. They went on very easy. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys can, please give this video a big thumbs up. Comment down below to let me know what you thought, if you like this look, if you want to try these products out. Do you already have Juvia's Place? Let me know what kind of products that you have from them already. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell, that way you're notified every time that I upload a new video. Follow me on all social media. I'm just at MichaelDavidTV. And, you know, just follow me on my journey through life. I just did an interview with a podcast called The Bottom Line Podcast, so I'm going to leave that link down below. That way you guys can check it out. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys on the next one. This is Michael David, signing off. Mwah.